Ride Along 2 is the sequel that everybody asked for since 2014, and it's directed by Tim Story, who did the first Ride Along and the two Fantastic Four movies. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Anyways, what this movie's about is Ben and James have to go to Miami to solve a case, and they have to solve it in like 2 or 3 days so Ben can get back and marry James's sister, because they're still not married yet, I guess. Yeah. That's pretty much all I got out of this movie. Now, if you guys remember, in my top 10 worst of 2014 video, I had Ride Along very high up. I forget where it was. I think number 3, 2, somewhere there. I honestly couldn't stand it. I hated it. I was annoyed by it the whole time. So, of course, when I heard that they were making a sequel, I immediately began to dread it. The trailers came out. I didn't laugh at all at them. It just showed basically the same thing that I had already experienced with the first Ride Along, so I didn't go to the theater to see it. I saw that it came up online, and I was like, alright, I'll watch it now. And guess what? It pretty much sucks. It's the same thing as the first movie. It sucks on every level. Even the action. Like, the one thing that this movie could have had was some pretty good action scenes, because it's a buddy cop movie. Some cop movies have some pretty good action, even if they're comedies. This movie could have had some pretty good action scenes. Those action scenes are riddled with horrible humor that doesn't work. There's especially one car chase that is kind of ruined with this video game gimmick where Kevin Hart is driving and he sees like a video game, like it's Grand Theft Auto or something like that, and you see like a map on the side corner, you see how fast you're going in another, and it's just taking up the screen. Sometimes it's all fully CGI animated, but then it's live action, but you still see the map in the... Stop! And speaking of Kevin Hart, I'm sorry, a lot of people think he's really funny. I think he can be funny. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think he can be funny, but then there's some times where I'm annoyed with him. This movie, he's annoying. It's like he's screaming at like the top of his lungs like the first movie. It's the same thing. It's not funny. It's not. He's trying way too hard, especially one scene in the beginning where he's like talking in like a higher pitch than normal, and he's like insulting people at the... And Ice Cube is really phoning it in. You can tell. He's not really trying. Like, so phoned in, Ice Cube, and their chemistry doesn't work. Because you have annoying Kevin Hart on one side, and then you have phoned in Ice Cube, who's a bully to Kevin Hart the whole time. It's just, this is an awkward pairing. You can tell that they probably like each other in real life outside of this movie, but in the movie, these characters, they don't like each other. It's like, this is so awkward. It doesn't work. They do have a couple newcomers. Olivia Munn, who's going to be playing Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse. I hope she does better in that, because here she made a face. It's like the majority of her role is like... like literally, the majority of her role is pretty much acting like the super serious cop and then reacting to the stupid stuff that Kevin Hart does. And then pushing his pressure points and making him squeal in pain. Oh yeah, and Ken Jeong, he's in this movie. I can say this, he doesn't try to be his character from The Hangover, where he's just over the top and only funny in the first Hangover movie, and then the second and third one he's not good at all. He seems more like a normal person in this movie, which I guess is the only thing he's got going for him, because his humor kind of sucked too, and I didn't like him. Especially during the car chase that I mentioned earlier, where the video game stuff was taking effect. He was screaming the whole time like, shut up, Ken Jeong! As you can tell, none of these four have chemistry with any of each other. Ice Cube is supposed to be in a relationship with Olivia Munn thing. It doesn't work at all. It's horrible. Why? Even the villain was boring. Benjamin Bratt, like a couple times I forgot there even was a villain. Benjamin Bratt, he was so bland. He was not good in this movie. His villain character sucked. I would have preferred Lawrence Fishburne for the last movie. Honestly, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I hate it. It's a horrible movie. So far, it's my least favorite film of the year. I know that it's still January. We haven't even gotten into February yet, but I'm sorry. I hate Ride Along 2. It's horrible. I really hope that there isn't a Ride Along 3, but there might be, because this movie is doing so freaking well at the box office. Just don't see it. Stop seeing it immediately. Get it out of theaters now. I'm going to give Ride Along 2 an F. Screw this movie up the buttocks. But if you for some reason saw Ride Along 2, leave in the comments below of what you thought of it. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time. Oh yeah, and the Fine Bros are hysterical. Oh, they're so dumb.